So we want to talk about changes to the 8A program that took place after Ultima Services, which is a case that we'll talk about here in a minute. If you're pursuing an 8A certification, the single most important document that you're going to write is your social disadvantage narrative. The recent litigation that I referred to a second ago is the reason why. We want you to get it right the first time. So here's the background. The 8A Business Development Program helps businesses that are at least 51% controlled and owned by individuals who are both socially and economically disadvantaged. For decades, people that were members of certain racial and ethnic groups received a rebuttable presumption of social disadvantage, meaning if you were a member of one of these groups, it was assumed you were socially and economically disadvantaged, or at least it was assumed you were socially disadvantaged. In the Ultima Services case, a plaintiff challenged the constitutionality of that presumption, and as a result, everything changed. Applicants can no longer simply rely on group membership and have to establish individual social disadvantage. So what does the SBA actually require in an individual narrative? That you personally suffered social disadvantage and that negatively impacted your entry into and advancement in the business world. Three elements matter. First, each incident must reflect real bias or discriminatory conduct. Second, each incident must be tied to a concrete negative impact. A lost opportunity, lost financing, or a lost contract are examples. It can't just be an offensive remark. Third, taken together, the incidents must show chronic and substantial disadvantage, not a single isolated event. The SBA will discount claims that are inconsistent with the rest of your record, and it will disregard an incident when a legitimate, non-discriminatory explanation exists and you have not shown why bias is the most likely cause. Here's your takeaway. Treat your narrative like it's evidence, not an autobiography. For every incident, document who, what, when, and most importantly, the business consequence that followed. Keep dates and correspondence and financial records that corroborate your account. Vague conclusory statements are exactly what the SBA rejects. Drafting a persuasive, regulation-compliant narrative is a legal skill, and the stakes couldn't be higher for your firm's future. At Veterans Advocacy Law Group, we help small businesses build 8A applications that meet SBA's individualized standard. So let's make your narrative the strongest part of your application.